Good morning.
Good morning.
Imagine you are walking through the woods and you see a small dog. You think the dog is cute and you approach the dog wanting to pet it. It suddenly snarls and tries to bite you. The dog no longer seems cute and you may feel some fear and anger. As the wind blows, the leaves on the ground are carried away, and you see the dog has one of its legs caught in a trap. Now, you feel compassion for that dog. You know it became aggressive because it is in pain and suffering. You go from being angry to, oh, this poor thing.
Stay tuned. Thanks, Tracy. And hello, everybody. I'm Gail Johnson-Vaughan, back again as your worship associate. Before we begin, I want to tell you a little bit about the powerful portraits that you'll be seeing in our service today and all month, in fact. These are the work of the gifted photographer Deanne Donnelly, who is a close friend of ours, and part of a project that she called The Faces of Change. All of these people are people that she became acquainted with when she was on the founding board of Sierra Roots, which is our Pass the Plate partner for this month. She has a really lovely way of capturing the beauty, the worth, and dignity of each of these people people who are so often marginalized because of the very circumstances of their lives. I invite you to notice your responses, your reactions, your curiosities. What do you imagine their stories are? They're so powerful. I want to just give you an extra invitation to go into those as they come along. And are any strangers you might talk to? And I also want to invite you during this time to allow yourselves an hour without ringing and buzzing and other annoyances from our electronic devices. So please make sure yours are silenced. But I don't want to turn off the buzz of human connection. So as you are willing and able, I invite you to join me in greeting people around you, making sure that some sort of the warmth of the welcome that we have is passed to every single person in the room. And even if this is your very first time, you can welcome the people next to you because you don't know whether they're new or not. So please take this moment to say hello.
Good morning. Each week, we place this basket of black oak acorns on our altar. Our October theme of compassion calls us to go deeper than simply acknowledging that we are on Nisenan land. Are we ready? Compassion calls us not just to care, but to let that caring move us to action. You may ask, what can I do to support tribal stability and sovereignty? So we asked our Nisenan friends to tell us how they would like us to put our acknowledgement to work. And here's what they shared with us. We can access all of the content on their website, California Heritage Indigenous Research Project, chirpca.org. The videos and social media there we can learn from, ingest, integrate, and be as familiar with Chirps and Tribe's published resources as they are, and let it sink in deeply. At the core of sovereignty, tribes can either stand separate or be so integrated in the everyday functioning of American life that they're part of the system, no matter how large or small their tribe. Their stories should be common knowledge. So how do we get there? Work with our communities together, and there's no easy way to lay out how to put the land acknowledgement into action, but we can continue to work on it one step at a time. And I think knowing one another's stories is a wonderful way to do that. It is vital to remember that it's a long arc of support and change. So may it be. And now for lighting of the chalice. You want to help? Yeah. As we light our chalice, let us be reminded that compassion shines a bright light, sometimes illuminating parts of ourselves we haven't acknowledged. May the light of this chalice shine through us to the deepest levels of compassion with which we were born.
And now it's time for our Wonder Box. I wonder what's in this. I wonder what it has to do with cultivating compassion. It's a teddy. I wonder if there's a young child who would like to carry this up to the children's room. It might take a couple of kids, I don't know. Oh, yeah.
She could fit in.
Are we ready?
Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Community of the Mountains, everyone. And I didn't trip over that. Thank you for being here today, either in person, on Zoom, or later on YouTube. We are each an integral part of this community, and together we create wholeness. I'm Marlene Bottenfield, your worship associate today, and today is my first day as worship associate, and thank you. I'm a tad nervous, but I've had two incredible teachers help me on my way. Kevin and Gail have patiently guided me through the steps. This Sunday, we continue exploring compassion as we consider what it would be like to walk in another person's shoes. It's easy to do with someone we care about, but what about a person that gets under our skin? That may have different views than we have. We might know a few of those people today. What then? Today we'll hear two stories about how compassion naturally spreads as we listen deeply to each other and to each other's pain. We all want to be heard. We all want to feel value. How do we gift that to each other?
Gentleness in Living by Richard S. Gilbert. Be gentle with one another. It is the cry from the lives of people battered by thoughtless words and brutal deeds. It comes from the lips of those who speak them and from the lives of those who do them. Who of us can look inside another and know what is there of hope and hurt, of promise and pain? Who can know from what far places each has come, or to what far places each may hope to go. Our lives are like fragile eggs. They crack and our substance escapes. Handle with care. Handle with exceedingly tender care, for there are human beings within. Human beings as vulnerable as we are, who feel as we feel, who hurt as we hurt. Life is too transient to be cruel with one another. It is too short for thoughtlessness, too brief for hurting. Life is long enough for caring. It is lasting enough for sharing, precious enough for love. Be gentle with one another. In March of this year, we added a ritual of acknowledgement and reminder of the shared journey that we are taking as our democracy is challenged. We do this by lighting a candle of compassion, resistance, and resilience. Compassion for ourselves as well as those suffering and those with whom we disagree. Resistance when we know people and life-sustaining structures are being placed in harm's way. And resilience, our own, yes, but also the resilience of the entire ongoing human effort to be individuals in community right here, in our neighborhoods, in our nation, and in our world. In addition to lighting this candle, we have an opportunity during our services to pause for a brief time, to join in a collective sharing of rituals of joys and sorrows. It can be a helpful experience to search for what is most pressing in our psyches and to lift it up in the light of community, caring. Whether joys or sorrows or both, we all carry sometimes something buried deep inside that wants to be noticed, needs to be acknowledged. The Lebanese poet Khalil Gibran spoke of joy and sorrow, saying, "Your joy is your sorrow unmasked, and the self-same well from which your laughter rises is oftentimes previously filled with tears." Friends, let us now visit that well together, knowing, as Khalil Gibran reminds us, that the deeper sorrow carves into your being, the more joy it can contain. As the music begins, you may choose to come forward and select a stone or stones to represent all that you hold. Then release them into the water, symbolizing both the loving container of our community and the ripples that carry that flow throughout the community and beyond. If you're on Zoom, you may add a virtual stone by typing a 0 or an O into the chat bar, or briefly name there what you're holding today. Whether or not you place a stone, as we participate together in this simple yet powerful ritual, may you feel yourself an essential part of this circle, holding and caring space for each other, perhaps praying in whatever way feels right to you. Allow the music to wash over you. Allow your breath to deepen, your shoulders to soften, your jaws unclenched, and your hearts open to what needs to surface this morning. Again, come forward as you are ready.
Hands open to the day. Breathe in, breathe out. Hands joined as if to pray. Breathe in, breathe out. Arms reaching to the sky, then circling around down to the earth. Eyes lifted to the light, to the light. Hands, branches catching rain. Breathe in, breathe out. Then rising like a stalk of grain. Breathe in, breathe out. Arms reaching to the sky, then circling around down to the earth. Eyes lifted to the light, to the light. Hands open to the day. Breathe in, breathe out. Hands joined as if to pray. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out.
I added the final stones that I put in to represent the many joys and sorrows that we each carry inside.
Shaven head, a swastika, the rhetoric of hate. No blacks or gays or Muslims in the world he would create. His outside looking in. We're all on the outside. Can't tell from the outside where someone may be going or has been. He sits in school and listens to the music in his ears. For anything the record shows, he's wasted 18 years. He'll have to get a job someday. His parents can't think how. Without him, there's a boy who would have killed himself by now. She lies in bed till someone comes to change her for the day. She doesn't hear or understand the cheerful things they say. She can't recall just who she is or anything she's done. She rode a bus to Birmingham in 1961. On the outside looking in, on the outside looking in. We're all on the outside. Can't tell from the outside where someone may be going or has been. He's never said I love you, and he's never made a friend. He screams aloud when he gets scared, that's never gonna end. They have a dog, they sometimes think she seems to calm him down. That dog would die to save him, and the other way around. On the outside looking in, on the outside looking in. We're all on the outside. Can't tell from the outside. On the outside looking in, on the outside looking in. We're all on the outside. Can't tell from the outside where someone may be going or has been.
Making me cry right before coming up to speak. Thank you. So, my story, at the first No Kings demonstration in Grass Valley, I met up with my friend Rachel. We chatted, took some photos, and then she headed off to the store to pick up drinks for herself and her kiddo. I stayed behind and chatted with another friend, Daniel. When Rachel returned, she was visibly shaken. She explained that a man entering the store had been triggered by her demonstration sign. When she asked him to repeat himself, he told her, "Go back to your own country." Hearing that, I felt protective of Rachel and wanted to address the awful that she had experienced. Since Daniel and I were about to go to the store anyway, I asked, "What does the man look like?" And then we headed over. Without much time to form a plan, I decided to request an apology on Rachel's behalf. We found the man on his way to the checkout line. I asked if I could speak to him for a moment. He said, "Sure." When I began explaining that he owed my friend an apology, he immediately became defensive, walked away, raising his voice in anger. I stepped back, realizing I'd approached him in the wrong way. I found the line he was in, apologized, and asked again if he'd be willing to talk with me. He said he didn't want to talk in the store. After some back and forth, he agreed to meet with me outside. Outside, I introduced myself, and he introduced himself as John. He remained very elevated and explained that, as a veteran, he felt the demonstrators were being disrespectful to a sitting president, among other concerns. My first instinct was to counter him point for point, but that only fanned the flames. I had to remind myself that the goal was not to win, but to make space for dialogue. So I shifted to deep listening and found a small area of agreement. Earlier in the day, I had taken the time to think about the No Kings theme of the event, and I actually could agree with John that 47 would not be defined as a king. That small common ground helped me de-escalate the tension. John's tone softened, and the conversation calmed. In that moment, I saw clearly how finding common ground, even something small, can change the dynamic. I offered John my phone number to stay connected. He immediately entered it into his phone, gave me a call, and said, "That's me." He complimented me on my perseverance. Before parting, I offered him a hug, which he accepted, and we went our separate ways. Reflecting on the encounter, I see how quickly confrontation can escalate when approached with requests rather than dialogue. I also see the power of humility. Admitting that my approach was wrong opened a door that would have otherwise stayed closed. Most importantly, I learned that listening and seeking even the smallest point of agreement can transform conflict into connection, however briefly. While I still disagreed with the majority of what John said in our weekly text exchanges, I'm reminded that relationships, even fleeting ones, are built on respect, persistence, and a willingness to stay present in discomfort. Ryan Dunlap teaches that most of us are terrible at communication. He cites a study that says only 36% of us are emotionally intelligent, which is important because self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management are foundations of effective communication. But many of us don't have that. It's why I mistake my bluntness for honesty, wordiness for clarity, and often react instead of responding. And most importantly, speak without listening. The good news is that our communication can be refined, especially by practicing every day. John doesn't think he's evil. No one thinks they're evil. Everyone thinks they're on the side of good. When you look at our political discourse, you see people accusing each other of being evil and bad, but both sides believe they're trying to do good. Both sides believe that they're on the side of good. In my opinion, they may be misdirected. They may be generalizing, scapegoating, twisting words, cherry-picking, othering, all divisive tactics. But if we start with the basic understanding that everyone is moral, how we interact with each other is very different. When we no longer seek to criticize because you're evil, rather seek to understand where they're sourcing their good from. Curiosity is a great way to interact with others, especially when we disagree. The social discipline window is a framework I've learned recently. In my encounter with John, I started out in the 2 quadrant, addressing him from a place of righteous urgency, trying to correct harm. In Kat Cox's deep dialogue approach, we are rooted in the UU shared values, with love at the center of everything. With Kat on my shoulder, I consciously shifted from toward with by pausing, apologizing, and inviting conversation. Love in that moment looked like staying present, seeking shared ground, and choosing dialogue over division. Using her approach, I engaged him as an equal in our shared humanity, and that's deep dialogue in action.
Thank you, Jax. That was inspirational. Some of you know that I was blessed with conjoined twin daughters. I learned many of life's lessons from raising them. And this story that I'm going to share with you has to do with them. When they were about 6 years old one summer, I signed them up for a YMCA day camp. It was an outdoor camp. I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to keep up with the other kids, so the first day I stood back in the background and watched how they interacted. Everything was going great till a boy who was probably older than them and much bigger walked over to them and shoved them over. They were surprised and carefully got back up and brushed themselves off and went off to play with the other kids again. A short time later, the boy came back over to them and knocked them down again before I could intervene. My first instinct was to grab the kid by his collar and give him a talking to. Instead, something totally out of character happened. After I helped Ruthie and Verena back up, I walked calmly over to Billy and said, "Hey, Billy, let's sit down on this log over here and have a little chat." He was clearly uncomfortable, but agreed to do it. I don't know what came over me, but I started to talk calmly to him and said, "Billy, do you have a sister?" He looked down at his feet and shuffled them a little bit and said, "No." And I said, "Well, Ruthie and Verena don't have a big brother either. And I was wondering if you could be their big brother while you're at camp with them. You could help them when they need it and explain things to the other kids when they didn't understand something. Do you think you could do that for Ruthie and Verena? Do you think you could be their big brother and watch out for them?" His eyes, shining bright, looked at me, and a big smile and proud shoulders washed over him. "Yes, I'll be their big brother." I explained to Ruthie and Verena how Billy was going to be helping them at camp, and he chimed in, told them he was sorry, and within moments he was holding one of their hands and walking slowly by their side over to the other kids. In a proud voice, he told the other kids he was going to be Ruthie and Verena's big brother at camp. I realized this was a precious moment that had almost been lost. There was compassion everywhere. I found compassion for myself when I thought about my first reaction to the situation. I found compassion for Billy. We become bullies because we've been bullied in life. And this young boy had a lot of pain he carried with him. I found compassion for Ruthie and Verena. Their resilience and willingness to forgive was so beautiful. Soon, all the kids were asking Billy for advice and checking in with him, and Ruthie and Verena had a wonderful camp experience with the help of their new friend. Compassion has a wonderful trait of tumbling over itself and multiplying and embracing everyone around. And now we're going to do a meditation called Just Like Me. Imagine that there was someone directly in front of you. It could be a friend, a family member, or if you're feeling courageous, maybe even someone you struggle with. I'm going to be making some statements, and I'm going to pause a little bit and give you time to repeat the statement to yourself in your head. After saying each of these phrases quietly to yourself, pause at the end of the phrase and reflect and remember, we are all human. This person has a body and mind just like me. This person has experienced suffering just like me. This person has been sad, angry, and hurt just like me. This person is sometimes scared and worried just like me. This person wants to be loved and understood just like me. This person wants to be safe and healthy just like me. This person wants to belong just like me. This person wants to be happy just like me. I wish for this person to be free from pain and suffering. I wish for this person to have health and well-being. I wish for this person to move through life with ease. I wish for this person to be loved and understood. I wish for this person to be happy. Because this person is a fellow human being just like me. Now take a few deep breaths slowly. And look into your heart space. How does it feel now? Gail's going to walk around with the mic for anyone who has a word or two to share about what's going on in their heart space right now. And for those of you on Zoom, please share in chat for Eileen to read. Anybody have any words they want to share?
Just one word, opening.
Mm-hmm.
Compassion.
Anyone else?
Gratitude for this moment and for this community.
Mm-hmm. tenderness.
Be present.
Eileen, do you have anything to share?
Rusted gates are difficult to open, but they do open. Centered, calm, grateful, empathy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Betsy. And thank you, Jax and Marlene, for the courage and commitment you model for us. You show us the power that each of us has to heal the world when we include others, and I mean all others, in our compassionate actions. Our offering does the same. The portraits you have seen all month are the faces of others who are, in the most fundamental ways, just like me, as our service is titled. 50% of your offering this month will support the work of Sierra Roots, whose work focuses on building community with homeless people and providing them with direct services, including lunches, cold weather shelter, and supports. And 50% of your gifts support UUCM's mission to cultivate our spiritual, emotional, and intellectual strength to create a world more compassionate, sustainable, and just. Greeters, we are ready. Thank you for your compassionately generosity of your gifts. We dedicate these gifts, freely given and gratefully received, to the work of this congregation and the work of Sierra Roots, weaving a tapestry of compassion and action, faith and fellowship, hope and wholeness. Thank you. And so many more thank yous. Marlene, for her premiere, wonderful. And what she gives us, oh, do we have delicious things coming forward. Jazz, thank you so much for sharing something I aspire to. And Tracy and Rachel and Ken and your beautiful daughter stole our hearts. Thank you so much. I love their family name, combines all. It's just beautiful. Musicians, how about this? Wow, just even getting the harp into the building. It's great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we had a large choir today, as you saw. Michael and Catherine, impromptu. Audiovisual, Cypress, great job. Steve, thank you for being there. You know, they get here at 8 a.m, you know that? It's pretty amazing. Eileen, thank you out in the world. Shanti for the beautiful setting. And I want at the same time to thank the nature and the gardeners, because those pumpkins are from our garden. And next week, we're going to have an even more spectacular one. So let's look forward to that. Jim, thank you for greeting. Lori, Corey, and Carl. Those nice faces out there just really make me feel like I want to be here. It's just quite wonderful. Gwen is pastoral care today. If you have something on your heart that you'd like somebody to just let in, Gwen, I think you all know, most of you know Gwen, so that's wonderful, thank you. There's nice refreshments out there. Shanti's helped with that. Gwen, Lynn, that's why I can't find Gwen, she's back there. And Lynn St. Jacques, thank you so much. And in Kids Connection, Lindsay and Spalding are up there with our little ones. Lots happening this week as usual. Citizens Climate Lobby will be here tomorrow, Arts and Crafts Service on Friday, Spiritual Sharing Circle coming up on Saturday, and Sunday after the service will be the 5 Wishes Workshop, which you can find out more about if you go online. How many of you went to Squirrel Creek yesterday to look it out? Okay, good. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. And get another chance on Saturday at 2 o'clock. If you haven't been out there to see it, the pictures on the website are not exactly exciting, but you get in the building and you see the whole space. That'll give you a much better sense of, is this a place that we would want to go? Beatrix Potter is among us today. It's very exciting. I hope you'll come after you've had your treats, come back and hear what Beatrix Potter, who is trying to pretend like she's Anita Wall Tuttle, but she's not, after the service today, is something to really look forward to. A parent cafe for parents who want to get together and have some time to talk about all of those things that they have on their minds. Also today, and so much more on our website. There's so much going on here, and so many roads you can travel down to see what's going on that might touch you. And now we rise in body and or spirit as you're willing and able, and sing our closing song, Love Will Guide Us.
Love will guide us, peace has guided us, hope inside us, lead the way, on the road of beginning. Love will guide us to the right, living shadows, in the angels, in the
you want to go? Go ahead and do the last verse. That it? Oh, all right. That was it.
That's all we have. Sorry.
These closing words are by Rochelle Goodrich. Walk with me for a while, my friend, you in my shoes, and I in yours, and then let's talk. As we carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again. So if you're here in the building, please join us for refreshments down the hallway. And everyone, we will see you next Sunday for You've Gotta Be Kidding. Thank you, everyone.